A few weeks ago, my pole vault career abruptly ended. This is my senior year of college, so it was coming to a close anyways, but the premature end is tough. Pole vaulting has been my athletic focus for about 7 very formative years, so no longer doing it feels weird and has sparked a lot of reflection about identity. The situation also poses the question of how I'll remain active and competitive now that the structure of college athletics is gone. I've noticed that many college athletes fall out of their disciplined habits after competitive sports end, which really makes sense. I think to most, sports became at least partially a chore towards the end, with outside factors like scholarships, friendships, coaches, family, things like that, like holding them accountable and consistent. The sudden loss of external motivation can be difficult to adjust to, but being physically active still remains very important to living a mentally and physically fulfilling life. Because of the situation I'm currently in, I'm just using this video as a way to share my thoughts about how I'll proceed and kind of floating some rough outlines of future plans in this unique all-to-nothing landscape of movement and health. Firstly, I've been kind of toying with the idea of seasons for a while now. In youth sports, it was really common to cycle between various sports and activities during a given year. While this is probably just designed to let kids explore and find what they really like organically, it also keeps them really engaged year-round and less likely to burn out. That structure gets a bit lost as adults, but honestly, I don't see why. What's stopping me from training calisthenics for 4 months, distance running, and then learning to box and do gymnastics the next 4 months? Nothing really. I definitely won't be optimizing myself to become great at any of these activities, but at this point, it's not really about that. My opinion may change after a while of kind of trying this method, but for now, I think it'll just be a cool approach to explore and reignite some athletic passions. Dunking, calisthenics, cycling, jujitsu, powerlifting, these are all kind of themes of seasons that I've been floating for myself. I kind of came up with them just through basic interest and through that reverse goal setting technique I talked about in a previous video. Also, if along the way it turns out that I really like one of the activities and want to continue, so be it. I think the power of the season theory may be that it's just a good way to start the journey from competitive athlete to college alumni. Right now, I'm still training sprints on the track team, but I'm starting to play basketball and train calisthenics a bit more seriously. Having some kind of structure and regimen keeps me disciplined, not just physically, but in all aspects. The transition is a pretty interesting turn of events, but I think it really gives me an opportunity to be living evidence of what I talk about on this channel. I didn't really have it in mind for this channel to become a more personal lifestyle thing, but I'm definitely not opposed to it. Staying engaged with movement will become more difficult for me now that I'm done with college sports, but by applying my own advice about the muscle-mind access, mindful movement, and mental health, I think it's just a good opportunity for me to test my own methods. Maybe I'll even make it a series called Movement Without Medals or Athlete to Alumni. We'll see. The last thing I wanted to say on here is that I realized that being an athlete and staying fit has honestly always been pretty arbitrary. I think it's really easy to feel like since official sports are over that you're no longer an athlete and are just some washed up ex-player, but I think that being an athlete really has always come from within and is pretty unrelated to competitive involvements. After all, like 99% of people doing sports or exercise never became even close to being elite level and making it their profession. For most of these grand aspirations we had, they were just kind of constructs that we convinced ourselves were like real. That's kind of sad to say, but if you think about it, it's kind of helped me open another door and realize that I can frame what I'm doing in any way I want, even if that means maintaining the awareness that it is all for the sake of the process itself. So yeah, that's kind of where my head is at during this transition of mine. I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to figuring this out one day at a time and kind of logging it along the way. So yeah, thank you.